Alaikum. Happy Saturday morning. January 30th, folks. How you guys dudes doing, huh? And dudettes and do whatever you are, or whatever you want to call yourself, or whatever. Be done each day. Finish each day and be done with it. You could have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And we know him from previous videos, don't we? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We know him. We don't have to circle back to that one, folks. Right? Full circle, though, right? You don't have to stay on top of everything, right? Right? January 30th. If you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. Don't wish to seem knowledgeable, and if some regard you as important, just trust yourself. Epictetus, one of the most powerful things you can do as a human being in our hyper-connected 24/7 media world is to say, I don't know. Or more provocatively, I don't care, but not like old River Killer Cuomo did. Don't be that callous and about that to that. Like, I think every case is different, right? And every subject is different. But like, if people are saying like, "Oh, did you hear what happened with this or that?" or the Excel, it's like, I don't live over there. That's not my business. Yeah. Okay. Did you hear about California? I don't live in California. It's not my business. Right. Most of society seems to have taken it as a commandment that one must know about every single current event, watch every episode of every critically acclaimed television series, follow the news religiously, and present themselves to others as an informed and worldly individual. But where is the evidence that this is actually necessary? Is the obligation enforced by the police? No, we defunded that shit. Or is it that you're just afraid to seeming silly at a dinner party? That's most likely because people don't want to be embarrassed or ashamed or look at that, you don't know what that is. You know what I mean? But I mean, who cares, right? Like it's like I said, who cares? I bet you a lot of the people, like everybody's faking it, everybody's fronting it, right? Especially nowadays, you can all tell everybody's fucking faking the front, And it's like, dude, it's like the domino effect, It's like when one person does it, because everybody, if you notice, people are like so quick to like one up each other on how grimy or how dirty, how hood, how ghetto, right? How slimy they are, right? I'm this kind of this kind of a cutthroat. I'm just like this. I'm like that, right? Kind of like Wall Street and financials. The ghetto's kind of the same, but they have a different kind of thing, right? It's more like I can do this and I done that and I did this and I did that, right? But it's like mostly the most grimiest shit that you could think of being, right? And it's like people think that that's cool. I don't understand that. And just like people think not knowing stuff is cool, but I think we need to find like a happy medium of where stuff like that is cool, Otherwise, what are you bringing to a conversation? If everybody knows everything, then what's the point of everything, right? I think that's why we all need to say, I don't really know about that aspect or whatever, and then we can all engage in conversation, and that flourishes and it goes on and on and on in an endless cycle of that, right? Of ideas. Yeah, you owe it to your country and your family to know generally about the events that may directly affect them, but that's about all. How much more energy and pure brain power would you have available if you drastically cut your media consumption? How about more rested and present would you feel if you were no longer excited or outraged by every scandal, breaking story, and potential crisis, many of which never come to fruition anyway? Right? I mean, let's be real, right? There's a lot of that kind of stuff, right? But yet, there's some outrage. Twitter outrage, right? Like 2016 when Trump was elected, you had Maxine Waters going out there saying, if you see anybody from this administration, meaning Trump's, right? In a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out, you create a crowd, you push back on them, you tell them they're not welcome. They're not welcome anymore, anywhere. right? And then you had all these other people saying stuff like that, right? You had even Cory Booker, you should get up into these people's faces and stuff like that, right? All that kind of stuff, right? Encouraging violence, and right? And when, especially like I've told you in other video, right? Nancy Waters, blah, 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 that's all, folks. Nancy Pelosi said that half the country is either mentally ill or retarded, but yet, and they all think this. They all think we're little babies. They all think we're toddlers. That's what this whole COVID thing is, and we're seeing that. They're all treating us like we're dipshit idiots. But hey, it's all cool, right? Because at least we gotta protect the innocents. We gotta protect the babies. We gotta protect the elites as well, right? But who cares? Anyway, just like remember like a while back too, when like there was like a lot of that like white privilege, white fragility was coming out, right? Oh, you got to be ashamed of your whiteness and shit. But like, I can't change that. But yet we're supposed to be cool with the gays and stuff like that, right? You had to remember Lady Gaga, I was born this way, accept me. But yet, be other people that were born this way can't change that. But yet, hey, frame to me, right? That's why I'm saying come in the middle like Nutella, baby. We have to make a sandwichy. So, Candace Owens, remember, she ad-libbed, she took out the white stuff and put Jew and black, right? And black people were upset, and the ADL was upset, rightfully so, because it was actually very bigoted and xenophobic and wrong, right? Well, you did, Cuomo Watch on Twitter did the exact same thing about that, took Maxine Waters' comment, ad-libbed the Cuomo administration, right? So if you see anybody from the Cuomo administration, put back on them, they're not welcome anywhere, right? Everybody's freaking out. Blue check marks and Democrats took to Twitter on Thursday to condemn the call for violence against Governor Andrew Cuomo and the people in the administration. The quote in question, however, was actually a call to violence against former President Trump and his supporters from U.S. Representative Maxine Waters, from a Democrat from California. That a Twitter troll account called Cuomo Watch satirically modified to say Cuomo. So you have Carl Hesty saying this is appalling and dangerous, encouraging violence must never be tolerated. Shame on whoever is behind this kind of garbage. Come on, look in the mirror. Senator Diane Savino, this is beyond outrageous. 2 weeks ago, we saw what happened when arsonists threw gas around. Twitter should ban this dude now. Oh my God. Kathy Griffin, right? Had a decapitated head of President Trump, and that was supposed to be funny and satirical. We were all supposed to go, oh, that's so funny, you're so creative, oh, yay! They had the New York, right? You guys had a play, right, of killing Trump in the Central New York Times and the New York Central Park, right? And we're supposed to be like, oh, that's so cool. But all this kind of stuff, right? But once it starts to come to you, right? As long as it's the filthy animals and all of them, all those stupid rubes are getting it. Who cares, right? But as soon as it starts to come to us dignified city folk with our caviar and our mimosas and your limousine liberals, right? Then all of a sudden everything matters, right? Then you take everything to the 10th degree, right? Right. Gail A. Brewer, right? We will not tolerate threats against public officials by radical extremists in this city or state. There is no room for violence and targeting. It clicked on it, lost it. No, it's going slow. There's no room for targeting against anyone, especially public servants, not after what happened in D.C., but yet Ferguson, Detroit, Chicago, Seattle, Portland, name any other place, right? Is all cool because it's the filthy animals live there, right? Not the work of the gods up Mount Olympus, right? Which needs to be saved at all times, at all costs. Alex Griswold, it'd be bizarre even if it were legit because they're just dogpiling some complete random. Who cares, man? And it's like people are just Pat Ryan. This kind of dangerous rhetoric must be called out and condemned by all, or else we risk repeating the horrendous events of January 6th. See, they just keep on doing that, but yet they don't want to look into a mirror and go, maybe we should do, maybe we're kind of guilty of this kind of stuff. Excuse me, you know what I mean? It's almost like when you have a narcissism and you can't admit that, you know, you do a lot of the same things that the filthy animals do because you're a lot alike. But let's move on, right? Then you have AOC, who's like woman, the girl who cried wolf all the time, right? Oh my God, I don't know what garbage disposable is. They're trying to kill me. Oh my God, this and that, right? And it's endless and endless and endless, right? It doesn't matter. We got 12 years to live, blah, 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 blah. Always going way hyperbolic, always going way overboard, but it's always okay, right? She's not saying things so elegantly, right? And everything else, people always got to rephrase it for her. She's always okay, but yet Donald Trump or anybody on the right that does that, it's, oh, look how uneducated they are. Look how uncivil they are. Look, they don't even know how to speak. Blah 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 blah. Right? Like, come on, folks. Come on, think about that. Right? But yeah, here we go. No, after she's like, oh, we want to include everybody. We want to work together. There's so much stuff we can do. No, Ted Cruz. She goes, no. Ted Cruz tried to have. There's people on the other side try to have me killed. There's no proof of this. This is all conspiracy theory. There's no evidence of any of this stuff, right? But we have evidence of Pelosi knowing all the kind of stuff about China with the spy with Ossoff. We have the business financials with Ossoff, the spy, the sleeping with the spy with Eric Swalwell, right? The pipsqueak Eric Swalwell, right? The Chinese spy with that Dianne Feinstein had a driver with for 20 fucking years, right? All this kind of stuff. And Pelosi knew about all of it. Doesn't really care, right? Because Pelosi cares about Pelosi, and that's it. That's why she just got some stock into Tesla as Joe Biden is passing in, doing all this energy stuff, right? It's just tit for tat. It's just me and not you, right? Representative of AOC on Thursday accused Senator Ted Cruz of almost having her murdered. Really, right? So she's accusing somebody of attempted murder, conspiracy, and all kinds of stuff, right? Without any kind of evidence. She's just speaking it out there, right? Into the ether, and just hoping that people will grab it and take it. And she's not. Maybe she's even hoping that somebody will less educated, less able to cope with their emotions and everything else, right? And impulses. Takes action like they did with the Bernie Sanders volunteer that no one's accusing Bernie Sanders of being guilty of, right? But gee, on this one, right? It's shot Senator Steve Scalise and some other ones, right? But yet it's that guy's just in jail. We called him a criminal, put him away, right? As we should, or he killed or died, right? As you should, right? But yet this keeps going on, right? But yet, and as this keeps being spewed forth, right, we have more divisiveness, more of that, right? No more unity, no more, but yet the people's business of America is not being dealt with either, and now more people are thinking that it's okay to act like this, right? Joe Biden said on January 6th that our children are watching, and is this how our children want to be seen, right? Look how, like, is this the kind of leaders that our children should be watching and thinking and living up to? What about the teachers on strike in Chicago and all around? What about Gavin Newsom playing politics with children's lives and futures and educations because they just don't care because theirs are getting all the educations and yours isn't? You know what I mean? This is what this is. They think you're a peasant and a serf, and they're going to treat you as such until you tell them or make them think that you're not. Legally, properly, and you know, and civilly. You know what I mean? No violence. I'm disavow all kinds of violence. Okay? But this kind of stuff has to stop. AOC has to actually start to act like she actually belongs in Congress as a representative in New York, or if she wants to just be a pundit that's radicalizing people up like she says Alex Moans does, right? Otherwise, what is she really doing? What's her fucking function there? What is she really doing? And do we really need that there? Ask yourselves these kinds of questions, folks. Because, I mean, really. But what about, she's pretty much becoming, in my opinion, the left's version of Steve King, right? Remember how bad that was? In my opinion, she's becoming just like that. Just the left version. So if you guys are cool with that, be cool with that. But I get it, right? Because you guys, the left's all about, oh, you know what, everyone democracy, and what about this and that? Congress is all about the power, blah, blah, blah. And even Joe Biden says you can't go, you can't be doing everything through executive fiat or executive orders because you're not a dictator. But yet, you got even the New York Times, right? This is the editorial board, not just one journalist, whoever. This is the whole paper going, this is fucking crazy. Ease up on the executive actions, Joe. President Biden has the right to not let his agenda be held hostage, but it's not being held hostage. The American people are being held hostage, but by all this kind of ineptitude and lack of incompetent government, as Andrew Cuomo would put it, that's killing all of us, killing our economy, killing everything else. That's why we must fucking open now. We must get to work, and we must fucking get to actual real normalcy that we actually know about. Not this other bullshit that they're talking about, because they don't even know where they're going. How are they going to tell us where we're going, folks? Think about that. 3 blind mice. A week into his presidency, and he has issued a raft of executive orders. Already, dude, it's like going up to like 40 executive orders. No one's ever really done this, right? And then you have over here, right? Don't know if you can really hear it, right? But that's Pelosi right there, right? The high priestess, the queen of the damned, right? The horror of Babylon, in my opinion. I don't know what I'm signing, just sign it. And then he says, just give this to the president. He has no idea what the fuck's going on, folks. Okay? And that's America. That's where we're at. Okay? Well, hope you guys are happy. This is what we all vote for. This is what we all love. Right? This is America now, folks.